Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Don't you say it a third time. Don't. Let's just get into the show. Come on. Welcome back to Two Bros, One Film, your favorite place for comedic commentary and brotherly banter on the films you love. Thank you for joining your hosts, my little brother William, and myself Xander, as we dive deep into another movie each week. This week we're doing Beetlejuice. So, been a long time. How are you doing?
Been better, been worse, still breathing.
That's all that matters.
That's the big Wesson from Beetlejuice. So at least I'm still alive.
Yep. And
not like Adam or Barbara.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cruel world. That's, yeah.
It is cruel. It'll knock you down, chew you up, spit you out, and they do it all over again constantly. It's just like everyone's the butt of their own bad joke, and it just sucks. So.
And that's like the theme of this movie, is that Adam and Barbara are the butt of the joke.
Yeah, and they seem to struggle with it in the beginning, but I guess they figure it out and they learn how to manage it. But we'll get into all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else new that we should know about?
Nah, I don't know. That's pretty much it.
Wow.
Watched a dog die over the weekend. It's been rough. Other than that, it was at the pound. It was a whole thing.
Because
it was really sad.
it's been like a month since we've really been on this, so everything's been consistent.
The time gap, there is a gigantic time gap. Well, like for our show, from like 10 to 11.
Yeah, but we're back. And we're back. I have every intention of making this back to a weekly thing, getting after it. So yeah, we're recording every Thursday from now on, and with this new setup, I should be able to have the show edited within a day or so. So hopefully, I'm planning on releasing Saturday or Sunday. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow and just put it out tomorrow. We'll see. So.
Yeah. Uncharted waters.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. I haven't done anything myself, really. I fucking started making ice cream. It's going over really well. I wanted to sell it at the bar, for a little extra, side hustle thing. And I got a lot of excited and people. And they're, saying they're going to buy and they're going to keep coming back for more. So I'm got a little extra work to do, but it's going to be a labor of love, so I'm pretty excited to get to it. But
it's pretty dope. Sounds dope.
Yeah, I did since the last time we recorded. I got my CLP, with commercial learner's permit, but I might shelve that for a little while. And I'm kind of wanting to, I don't know, really focus on my cooking and food, because that's my true passion and what I want to do every day. And, I can always go get this CDL later, or I can get it and still do this food thing. I don't know. I'm still shuffling around some ideas, but I'm kind of excited for the possibilities right now. So we'll see how it all turns out. So what was the last show we did? We did
District 9.
District 9. It was pretty good. I thought District 9, from what I remember, went pretty smooth and well. I think this audio is going to be far superior to anything else we put out, and I'm really excited for it. So
we're coming for you, Muppets.
Yeah. That's what this new little lady friend I met. Hopefully she checked out the Muppets first. I told her Muppets is probably our best production so far. But I hope we can do the show justice, because it's one of her favorites. Really likes the show. So
our highest rated movie probably our best episode.
Is it?
Yeah. Because we gave it a 96 or something crazy.
Oh yeah, because it's just it's really good.
And the conversations we had were really funny.
I thought
the whole vegetable thing.
I haven't gone back and listened to it though, but I edited it so I can recall most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stresses me out when it doesn't sound
handmade clips so far.
Perfect. What?
Highlights, the clips, easily my favorite so far. So.
The Muppets clips, I had a pretty good laugh at those. They were pretty good. Let's see. Well, I don't really have much for show updates other than we are testing out a new approach. We're doing it remotely,
Remotely.
and that should help with like the feedback issues I've been having, cut down on my editing time tremendously, trying to line everything up, and we're using the same program to record. I'm just really stoked about this setup, and I think we have nailed it finally, and I'm pretty fucking excited. So without, I guess, further ado, let's jump into a quick overview. So the spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home and hire a malicious spirit to drive them out. Beetlejuice, a classic comedy, debuted in 1988, was a PG, even though there was some sexual stuff and cursing and other stuff in there. Seems more like PG-13 worthy nowadays, but I mean, it was back in the day.
Wild. Wild. That's PG-13.
No, it's PG. It's not.
No. What's wild that it is PG. It should totally be a PG-13.
Totally.
There's some grim ass shit, like when they're like doing the faces and they're like, that would have ruined me as a kid.
And they say fucking in there somewhere, like whoa, for children.
And Keaton does like a jerk off motion.
Yeah.
At one point, which is funny as fuck. It caught me totally.
And there's like concepts of suicide in there and all kinds of other shit.
Yeah, like the little girl. Yeah. When Noah Ryder's gonna off herself, I was like, that's pretty metal. I wrote that. I'm like, this is metal.
It's hardcore.
Way darker for the tone.
But I mean, they just built us different back in the '80s. You know, you wouldn't know, but I made it a couple years in there. So.
Oh my God, you were 1 year old.
I was 2. Thank you. Oh, when this movie came out, I was 1. No,
in the 80s, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh, I'm a 90s kid. I was 4 years. You don't remember shit about the 90s.
Dude, I remember a lot of the 90s. By the end of the 90s, I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old at the end of the 90s. I remember a lot of it.
That's exactly my fucking point, though. You were a 90s kid. I'm an 00s kid.
I was an 80s baby, okay, and a 90s kid.
That's exactly my point. But people always online are like, you would be like, I'm an 80s kid. And I'm like, you don't know shit about the 80s. You weren't fucking around for the 80s. Just like I wasn't around for the 90s.
But still, like a lot of the reruns and everything, on TV were all 80s kind of stuff. So
you're getting a half-baked. You're getting a half-baked 80s, man. You're still living in the 90s. What do you listen to? You listening to the song from 1982 or the song from
all
92?
The movies and stuff that I watched, like Look Who's Talking, I'm pretty sure that was an 80s movie, and I remember that. Mom played that a lot.
Oh my God. I am here to put that shit down. I'm here to start the internet revolution of when you're born in 96, you say you're an 00's child. And if you're born in 89 or 88, you say you're a 90s child, all right? That's what I'm trying to do here. It's fucking outrageous. I've seen it for years, and I'm tired of it. I don't know shit about the 90s. You don't know shit about the 80s. Move your decade 10 years up.
I was a 90s child. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And an 80s baby. Okay, so...
Exactly. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's exactly my fucking point.
All right. The movie was an hour and 32 minutes long. It had a budget of $15 million. Box office, it made $84.6 million. So that's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, damn. Yeah.
It was directed by Tim Burton, the man.
Back in his heyday, man. Batman 89 comes out, 6 years before this. When did this movie come out?
It debuted in 1988.
Oh, yeah, 1 year after Batman 89 was 1 year after this. That's crazy, dude. Like, he dropped Beetlejuice and then Batman 89, back to back.
Oh, he did Batman 89?
Nah, yeah, Tim Burton.
That's why it's so dark and wonderful. And they had Michael Keaton. They must have like a little fucking
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why Michael Keaton. That's probably actually why Michael Keaton became.
Yeah, it's probably why. Yeah, just probably had to have that relationship already built. Yeah. That's cool as fuck. Okay.
But that's crazy though. Like, can you imagine if Christopher Nolan dropped 2 movies like that? Like I guess he kind of did. Like The Prestige and Batman Begins, or Inception and The Dark Knight.
There you go. That's
I guess
more
directors can do that.
That's more relatable. Yeah.
That's crazy though. That's crazy shit to think about. The drop. I guess if you just time it right, you can have a movie like That's nuts.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about
I
it.
guess he's been working on stuff for a while. You know, he had different concepts. Like I'll get into his show, the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. He had been doing sketches of Jack. Shit, I can't remember his name. We'll get into it later. But yeah, he had been working on that concept for a while too, and it's also makes a sneak appearance. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, screenplay was by Michael McDowell and Warren Scarron. Story by Michael McDowell and Larry Wilson. Produced by Michael Bender, Larry Wilson, Richard Hashimoto. And I wrote down Dick Hashimoto. I don't know why. I just kind of. And it was directed or distributed by Warner Bros. So.
Closing down multiverses. Fuck you guys, you dumb motherfuckers. Suck my dick.
I don't get it.
Monolith Studios made Shadow of Mordor, the greatest game, one of the best games there ever was.
What?
And then they patented the Nemesis system from that game.
Why you hate?
And now we can't make a new game until 2036 with it.
Well,
fuck you.
You're apparently on.
Fuck you, Warner Brothers. You don't know. And fuck you for the WiiWii, that Looney Tunes movie, where you guys spent all that money on, and you would rather shelve it and get the tax return on it than put it out to the public. Fuck Warner Brothers. Suck my dick. It's bullshit. I'm mad about multiverses. I'm mad for those studios. Fuck you, man.
Well, I'd ask you to tell us how you really feel, but I think you just nailed it. So,
I got a lot of rage about it.
The movie stars Alec Baldwin as Adam.
Great. It was weird, by the way, seeing Alec Baldwin so young. It really tripped me out.
It really did, too. I'm like, I didn't know he was so young and handsome at one point. Like, good for him.
Yeah, he was a really good in shape guy. Again, I've always seen chubby. I like chubby.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't mind him. Like,
he's skinny.
Yeah, he does great. Like, he's one of the Baldwins. Of course, he's gonna do all right. You know, like, has Gina Davis as Barbara, Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
A very fun Michael Keaton role of like him just being wacky. I've never really seen him like he's always kind of the straight man. So seeing him so wacky was a fun
right. Like because all I have in my head mostly from Michael Keaton is Batman, pretty much it.
Yeah.
And to see him in this just like cartoonish out there role was, nice, different change of pace.
Like the founder from McDonald's, he did that role, like straight.
Oh, he did. That was a good movie too.
Yeah. And the other guys, Captain Gene. Don't call me Captain.
Oh,
Gene.
yeah, you're right.
So like again, I've always seen him as like such a straight laced, guy in a tie type of thing. So it's really I just had a lot of fun with seeing Michael Keaton just kind of went off the chain, so to speak.
Yeah, totally. Winona Ryder as Lydia, young Winona. She was 17.
Yeah, no, that's another one where I'm like, I've only seen you as a 40-year-old woman trying to get Will Byers back from the Upside Down.
She's in that? Oh, yeah.
Joyce. He's Joyce Byers.
Okay, yeah, dude. It's been so long since I've seen that Glorious Half show. I need to put that on the list.
Oh, it's so good. Is there
going to be another season, or is that it?
No, there's one more season.
Oh, dude.
Where I'm hoping...
I'm going to binge it all in one night like I did the other ones.
Remember the rift opens in the sky? Remember? The rift opens in the sky, and then you have one, Vecna. And we had, like, running up that hill,
I need to watch it again. It's been like a year since I watched it, so I don't know.
It's so
good. I binged it all in one
good.
night, and by the time I got to the last episodes, it was like 5 a.m. But I just, like, couldn't stop watching. It was so good.
I have a distinct memory of like when I first found it at Iowa State, and I watched like both seasons back to back, and I had like to go to class the next day, absolutely exhausted.
Yeah,
and I didn't
I've gone to work the next day just like, what, did you stay at partying too late last night? I'm like, no, dude, I was just watching Stranger Things. It was so good, I couldn't stop, man. Like,
Also, season 3 is great. I'll defend season 3. I like that.
I liked all of them. I binged each one of them.
Yeah,
I watched like. One weekend, but I watched it all in one fucking shot. Like the entire season, I just couldn't stop. Once I started the season, I couldn't stop until it was over. It was hooked. They did a really good job to keep me hooked, So,
but again, trippy seeing her old though. Trippy seeing or her young. Winona Ryder. Yeah. Really trippy this year as a kid when I'm so used to her being like this mom to Will Byers.
She did a good job for being so young and looking dead inside for this role, so.
Oh, she's great. No, I got my main, we'll get into it. I loved her performance in this.
Okay, we got Jeffrey Jones as Charles, Catherine O'Hara as Delia, Glenn Shaddix as Otho, which is like a cool ass name.
I like him a lot, and he's also in oh crap, what's that? It's a Stallone movie where everybody's like a big, I don't know how to say this, a big wimp. Like he's like a frozen cop, and he's like this badass cop or whatever, and he does some fucked up shit allegedly, and then they freeze him. It's not Demolition Man, is it? Demolition
I have no idea.
Like he's like that dude is like one of the advisors in the future of this like punk ass bitch future. It's really cool. It's like what if society like pussified and then Stallone is unfrozen because this like dude from our time basically like gets unfrozen and they don't know how to stop him because everybody's a big puss in the future.
Well,
it's like an awesome movie.
You'll have to send me a link when you figure that one out.
Yeah, underrated.
And then finally we have Sylvia Sidney as Juno. So, all right. That's basically the overview right now. We got 6-sentence synopses of the Triple S.
Oh yeah. I was dropping hot fire.
All right, you want to go first? You want me to just put my?
Yeah, no, I'll go.
Because my generic is like always flat and just like it's just 6 sentences of synopsis. So, go ahead.
Life is cruel, so they turn to Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder, more normal or less stranger than Joyce? 2 words, 1 insect, 1 drink. Beetlejuice. You don't want to be dead. Beetlejuice.
Huh. I feel like you're reading a haiku the way you like make your pauses in there sometimes.
I'm doing some English shenanigans, but I don't even know. I didn't look up how to do a pause and like say Beetlejuice or whatever. I just know it's a thing I can legally do with the right symbol. The symbol's in here, guys. I imagine it. I'm doing like the forced version of English.
Which English is just a busted ass language anyway, so don't even get me started on English. Don't even get me started.
I don't need your right symbol. I know I can do it. I know I can do it.
All right, so mine's okay, here it goes. A couple on staycation died due to wife's poor driving. They must rid their home of the living for some reason or another. They try on their own with 0 success and recruit a spirit named Beetlejuice to help. They immediately regret it and have to deal with his perverted shenanigans. They decide to get rid of him and accept the living people in their home. After ridding themselves of the malevolent spirit, the ghosts and bios live together happily ever after. That's it. Yeah. Mine's always like so dry and just like meh. But I try to like squeeze it all in there. That's my whole little goal of it. I'm like trying to get everything.
I always have some weird end goal. Like I want to say Beetlejuice 3 times. That's all I want.
It's just like I'm getting that in.
And then I build everything else around that.
All right. Well, anything else before we jump into the analysis and commentary?
No, I had a really good time with this movie. I think it's like super darkly comedic. I think it's all about like how unfair life is, at least to me. And I think that this kind of has an undertone of a deep message. Like life is not fair. You know what I mean? We see this couple. It really looks like they're good people. They're honestly way better than the people who move into their house.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they basically raise the daughter after they become friends with the daughter at the end, right? So these are good people who, the wife does bad driving. You should have ran over. I'm sorry, you gotta run over the dog. You gotta run over the dog.
We're gonna get into it here in just a minute, so I'm not gonna go all off on it, but yeah.
I'm just saying. It sucks. It sucks. I'm not saying you should try to hit the dog. In the good situation, you see the dog and you just stop.
We'll get into it here in a minute. So let's not go because I have some things to say myself.
Let me finish. Kanye, Taylor Swift. Let me finish. So anyhow, it's just about. Oh my God! It's just about bad things happening to good people and just trying to make the best out of that shitty situation.
I couldn't agree more. Like I think a good way to put it. And I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid back in the 90s when it was on like just some television rerun. It was just on TV on a rerun. I didn't remember any of it, so I got to go in it fresh and I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. Watched it a couple times to get ready for the show, and it we won't get into too much detail so we can do the ratings at the end. But yeah, I liked it. Had a good time. I've been waiting to break this one down. So I guess with all that said, let's cue that funky music. The movie starts with a flyover of the town they're in, with a quite energetic music playing. I should have got the song title, but I didn't.
Danny Elfman did the music for this, and he also did it for Batman 89.
Did he?
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard the name Danny Elfman, but I just, couldn't relate it to anything else.
I think he did the music in Signs.
Really?
That might be I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I feel like I heard you mention it. Maybe it was in the Signs movie that you did mention his name before. So the camera's showing a flyover of the town they're in, and it starts off as a real town being filmed, and then it shifts into a model set that's in the attic of Barbara and Adam Maitland. Alec Baldwin looks stupid young, and it's insane. Just wasn't expecting that when it first popped up. Like, dang, he's just, I don't know. I should have checked how old he was in this film, but he couldn't have been too old.
Also, it was not Danny Elfman who did the music for Signs. It was James Howard who helped with the Dark Knight soundtracks.
Well,
so my bad.
Hey, well, you're a guy closer to me. I didn't have anything. So, there's a spider crawling on the model house that they live in, and it's like
also just a fun thing just to have that model house and just have like little insects crawl. I would love that. Just like a spider going, like looking like a giant spider.
Yeah, but it was a giant spider, and it's a fucking like tarantula in the fucking in Pennsylvania, yeah, like in New England somewhere. Now it's natural habitat. And he just like nonchalantly picks it up and hucks it out the window like it's a regular fucking garden spider or something.
He's a country boy.
I don't give a shit. Man. I lived in the country many years of my life, and you're out there right now. Have you ever seen a spider that damn big? No.
I haven't seen a spider that big, but I pick up bull snakes and stuff. I ain't not afraid of no.
Yeah, I remember you bringing home all kinds of creatures all the time. It was like, and I was just like, I ain't touching none of that shit. Just get it away.
Yeah. So I would have no problem. I'd be just like Alec Baldwin. I would eat that spider.
I have problems with touching things that just ain't natural like that. I don't know. Well, it's natural, but no, I'm good. Thanks.
It's the most natural thing there is.
I guess. So yeah, he hucks this giant tarantula out the window, and Barb comes in and has some stuff for his model set, and he's been waiting on, and he gives her what seems like some wallpaper or something. Like, here's some wallpaper that you've been wanting too. Like, oh. Anyway, there's some kissy face grossness going on. Like, just chill out there, people. Damn. And Jane, their realtor, pulls up outside.
Dude, fuck this bitch. Don't you come to my house at like 6:30 in the morning trying to sell my house, harassing me.
She pulls into the driveway, and it's Barb's turn to have to go deal with her, I guess. And they're running down the stairs like a couple of children, and especially for like 6:45 in the morning, like, come on, people, just chill out a little bit. Like, shouldn't you just be dragging ass and just kind of miserable? You're on vacation too. Like, what the fuck are you doing that? I don't know. Just a little, like, I don't know. Maybe the mornings hit different in the 80s. I don't know.
Nah, dude. No, these are morning people, man. These are your perfect people. Like, in theory, you should love the morning. But if you're a real G like us, you hate the morning.
What do you do at a funeral? You mourn the dead. The morning, you wake up in the morning. You know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. No, mornings are for miserable. I've always hated the morning.
Don't you fucking look at my direction or talk to me until I've been up for 2 hours. I will fuck you up.
Please don't breathe. I just want to, like, function as, like, try to gather myself and prepare for my day. Like, the cats are always just all up in my business, and I'm like, bros, please just chill out for a minute while I get going here. Anyway, because I woke up at 6:45 this morning. Like, that's when I woke up. They had clearly been up for a little while, and I don't know, we're all just giddy. I don't know what kind of coffee they had or something, but it was juiced.
It's like the first half of my morning is, classic tunes, don't bug my brain too much. And then the second half when I'm awake is like audiobook podcast time. Also, yeah, the kids fight, not cool. Like people like, oh, this house would be better.
Hang
with
on,
kids.
hang on.
It's
We're
like,
getting there.
trying,
We're getting
woman.
there. We're getting there. We're already starting to skipping ahead early, ain't we? Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it's Joyce is on the table, dude. Joyce
Okay,
is on the
so yeah, they're running downstairs. 6:45 is terrible. Oh yeah, so yeah, no, I guess it's right here. You're right. You're right. My bad. So Jane says there's been an offer on the house from a family from New York, and they should sell now to a family because the house is too big just for a couple without a family.
Okay, bitch, you're bugging me on my vacation at 6:45 a.m. That's strike 2. And then strike 3, you're going to be like, make fun of my infertility. Whatever's going on in our situation. Infertility. All right, you know what I'm
like,
saying?
is that what was
You people
happening?
get what I'm
Because she
laying
did
down?
kind of have a face like she was upset, like, oh, like shamed, or is it just because like a societal stigma back then? Like,
Oh, I'm sure. Well, both ways.
it could've
Both
gone
ways,
either
right?
way.
In the 90s.
um,
So it's just not
yeah,
cool,
like,
though.
it
And then
doesn't
having,
matter,
like, pictures
hey,
of her
Do
house.
they buy the thing? Do they own it? Then leave them the fuck alone. Like, let them do what they want with their own time and property, whatever. Fuck it.
And what creepiness to send pictures of someone's house who's not selling it to, like, some random family in New York. Like, oh, you want to buy... It's just some vulture-ass shit.
And she's probably looking for that commission or, getting that percentage for selling it. And clearly they hired her, so, like, they've been trying to get rid of it, so I don't know. She just came out
I don't
off time.
think so. I think she's like a family member or
She
some
did
shit.
kind of seem
Or
family or,
some-
like, close friend or, like, neighbor for a long time. I don't know. I was
yeah.
trying to gauge
I don't
the
think they
relationship.
want to sell the house. They like the house. You know, that they like the house so much they want to scare those people out of it.
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
like dude's business
So
is in
it's like
town,
she doesn't
so
wanna sell it.
like
They don't wanna sell it.
why would they want to leave? I don't know. It is something to contemplate there.
So Joyce is just a big dickhead. That's that. Or Jane. I'm sorry. She just seems like a Joyce Jane. But Jane, waking people up at 6:45, having pictures of your she just sucks. She just
So
sucks.
they reject it.
They do not want to sell the house.
So they reject the offer and head into town to get something from what I'm assuming is their store because it has their name on it and everything, obviously. So I love the old guy that's out front just talking to himself, thinking he's still talking to Adam, even though he like runs inside and comes back out. Every small town has that guy.
And Adam handled that. Yeah, and Adam handled it beautifully.
Yeah,
You
he
don't talk to him.
just
You
act
don't
like he's
engage
not in
with
there.
him.
Just say hello and just keep on moving.
I got a woman at my job who's like this. A tractor beam of bullshit. And that's what you got to do. You just got to walk past her, not make eye contact.
Yeah, verbally acknowledge,
just
but
keep
no
on
eye
going.
contact. Be like, hello or whatever, and just keep on moving.
Because they'll never shut
Yeah.
up. They'll keep going. They'll give you their whole
We got a
life
few
story.
of those people at the bar. I'm just like, hey, what you need to drink? Here you go, bye, and just walk away. And they'll keep talking. I'll be back in the kitchen, and they'll just still be talking out there.
Yeah.
And I'll just come out and be like, oh, yeah, really? Okay. Uh-huh. And just not even, just do anything in my power to go anywhere. And they'll still be talking, even though I'm like walking over here to wipe off a table that hasn't been sat at for 3 days. Whatever, just fucking doing something. Anyway, they head back home after Adam grabs the stuff he was getting. And they're about to cross a covered bridge. And a dog runs into the road. And then Barb swerves to miss it, causing them to crash through the security, like the securely built walls of this, securely, I say in, quotes, wall of the bridge as they're going, 20 miles an hour or less, if that, like creeping along on this road, and they just somehow smashed right through this wall. Okay. And they fall and drown into the creek below. So, yeah.
Well, there's like a lot going on here. One, you hit the dog, right? You
don't swerve.
to-
You gotta hit Cujo and bury him later.
We don't want, again, in a perfect world, we want to hit the dog. We don't want to hit the dog.
don't wanna hit the
But
dog.
if it's either the dog or going off the cliff and dying, I'm going to hit
Yeah,
the
but
dog.
like,
I'm sorry.
I feel like, does she not have brakes in her vehicle or something? Because they weren't going that fast.
They're on vacation. They're not going to go get the brakes checked out.
Well,
Are you
I'm
kidding
just
me?
saying, they weren't going very fast at all. And boom, crash right through and die. I'm like, even then, the thing is, 10 feet above the water?
It could have
Like,
been-
the crash, wouldn't have killed him. The fall into the water wouldn't have killed him. And like, weren't the windows open? Just crawl out the windows. You could have probably stood up in that little creek. It ain't that big. Like, it couldn't have been that deep. It just is kind of just...
Maybe they just rolled zeros, man.
Yeah.
They rolled zeros. Maybe
I
they weren't
guess
wearing
so.
seatbelts. You know, shit happens,
So
man.
all of a sudden,
Like, you could just be the. Well, we gotta talk about the irony of the dog being the thing, the stick to break the camel's back when that's the reason they swerved. Like, the thing they swerved to save ended up being the reason they died because the dog jumps off the little board and then they fall in.
oh yeah, because they were doing a balancing act there for a second.
Yeah. So that's fucked up. Like, that's
It's
so
even in that
ironic.
time, if their windows weren't already roll down your windows because you know you're gonna have to make an escape potentially if the dog does, get off the board and then it's enough to tip you guys over. Like I don't know, and that one board must have been built of something strong because it didn't snap. Like I don't know. So anyway, it cuts back and they're in the house and they're not sure how they got there so quickly. Adam wants to go retrace the steps and heads out the door into a desert Adam wants to go retrace his steps and heads out the door, and all of a sudden he's into a desert-like planet and encounters this large sandworm. He escapes from it and gets back inside, and Barb says, like, oh shit, you've been gone for like 2 hours. And then I guess while he was gone that whole time, she found this book on the table, and it was the handbook for the recently deceased.
And we gotta talk about like when they first show up dead, how they like don't see him in the mirror.
Oh yeah, so that's like a good vampire kind of thing
cool...
going on.
Yeah, and it's just like such a cool way to display death in a kids movie because like you don't want to show like their dead bodies or dead corpses, so it's just kind of a smart.
They showed just about everything else and a whole bunch of other dead bodies and corpses
seen.
later. So,
well, I don't know. Like I feel like it's a smart way to get that across by taking something we know and reapplying it with vampires, taking the vampire thing and doing it with that. Also, the trippy acid worm scene.
Yeah,
cool. It's really cool visual.
Then you're like.
It still holds up.
It was a fun little visual for sure.
And then like I love the like later on like what is it? Beetlejuice is like, yeah, you hate sandworms, don't you?
I don't particularly recall that part, but yeah, I remember him mentioning it. But so it cuts to Beetlejuice looking for a job, and he sees an obituary for them. Some time has passed, I guess, because it's been a little while, and I guess they get current news in the afterlife. I don't know.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, because like they have an obituary. Like I don't know how they like get, mail or newspaper deliveries in the afterlife. But
well, I guess like if you kill yourself, you're a civil servant. So maybe it's just like they got a paper boy.
I guess so. It could be. Could be.
News.
Yeah, I guess they all have jobs, so there's got to be a paper boy guy, and he just goes snatches it from the living. Not quite sure.
I don't.
Logistically, there's some questions here.
I just don't get. Yeah, and it's just like I don't get how you just be a normal person in the afterlife. Like it seems like people who killed themselves are civil servants, but what happens with everybody else? So they just get sent into that death tunnel or whatever, like the dead for the dead or whatever, and that's pretty much where everybody goes essentially.
Is there someplace worse or better? Who knows?
Yeah, or is Beetlejuice like a rebel, like not like refusing?
Well, he needed work too. Like,
what
are you getting money? Are you getting good deeds to get someplace better?
Oh yeah, no. Why do you want to work with these people? Like, what if you kick them out of the house? What do you get if you're Beetlejuice? Like, do you get their souls?
Maybe it's just something for him to do. That's what I'm
thinking.
thinking. Like, you're just so fucking bored, and this is what he does: is help new souls.
I would say like transforming into a snake and scaring the fuck out of people would be a pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh sure, I'll get rid of them. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll fucking traumatize some people.
Yeah, so it goes back to Adam and Barb, and they're in the attic, and Adam has made the cemetery in his model. It's like a little model town, and he made little wreaths, with their names on it, and 2 graves for them.
Awesome.
Kind of disturbing.
Totally something I would do. Totally something I would do as a ghost. I would totally like update my.
It's like we're dead. Here's our graves. Here's a little wreath with our names on it. Yeah, just a little disturbing, but it's fun. I love it.
I wonder if they were at their own funeral, or they just had to like guess. They just had to. Like,
I think they looked out the window and you could see like the graveyard from. Oh, it's like remember he's saying like I wish I had a better view of the graveyard, so you kind of get it more accurate.
Oh yeah.
They notice out the window that Jane is pulled up wearing all black with her daughter, I'm assuming, or Adam and Barb try to shout at her, but they can't be seen by Jane and the little girl. The book says that the living usually can't be seen, and it seems they have come to terms like with their death at this point. They're like, okay, we're dead. We can't be seen. They made the little graves. Like, I don't know how much time has passed exactly, but it's been at least like, a few days to a week or something. Because, dressed all in black, I'm guessing they just attended the funeral. That's what I'm gathering here. Next, we see the Deets arrive. The Deetses? Deets?
The Deets?
The Deets
I think it's Deets.
arrive.
Like Beats,
or the
but with a
Deetses.
D.
I don't know. Hopefully I won't have to say that too many times. Charles, Delia? I forgot how they pronounce it. Delia and their daughter Lydia. The family from that New York and everything that Jane was trying to sell their house to. Charles wanted to get out of New York and have a relaxing new place to live, but Delia doesn't like it the way it is and has hired a decorator, Otho, to make the house more livable, as she says.
And I love our first introduction to them is them like being a proverbial bull in a china shop where like they push in that box and it's just a big loud bang. Like from the first second we see them, they're just a nuisance to us and
yeah, the ghosts,
that
are living there. I like seeing things from the ghost perspective on this, like, oh, the hauntings that are happening. We always see like the new people moving into a haunted house. We don't see the ghosts point of view, like, who the fuck are these humans? These bios coming into our crib. No, like, fuck that. We're gonna terrify them.
Like, it's funny, yeah, when you put it that way. Like, it's like a haunting from the other side.
So Barb and Adam attempt to scare them out of the house by ripping off their face or setting up a headless kill scene up in the attic while they're like kind of doing their first walkthrough.
Super dark imagery, man. Like,
I loved it. I thought it was great.
For like as a little kid,
like,
this would have ruined
for me,
me.
watching as a little kid, I don't even recall any of this. So like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't that traumatizing.
This would have ruined me, man. Yeah, like this would have been Signs for me. Like just how like
I remember Signs.
I
was
really
like we lived out there in the cornfields. I was just like, yeah.
But like Beetlejuice would have been on that list if I was to watch that at like 5 years old or some shit. That would have ruined me, man. That would have taken years to get over.
So, forgetting apparently that they know they can't be seen by the living, they're trying to do all these little, scenes and scare them off. I don't know. So I always thought like a little continuity error there or something. Delia and Otho. Am I saying her name? Yeah, it's gotta be Delia. I'm just gonna stick with it. Delia and Otho head to the attic, but Barb and Adam rush up and lock the door or lock him out real quick. Barb and Adam slip back downstairs, and Barb is pissed that she can't scare away the living, so she flips out and tries to leave the house. When she's leaving out the house, she falls out into that desert planet and encounters the sandworm. Adam goes after her, and the sandworm comes for her, starts chasing after her, and she just straight jacks that motherfucker right in the face like a solid hook, and they get back inside. And I'm like, I see why Adam married her now. I would have. Shoot. She just sits there and just clocks a motherfucking sandworm in some sort of ultra-dimensional sand planet. Like, that's love right there. That's a bad woman. That's a...
I think some stuff, like when they were walking through the house or whatever, I liked it when he's like, when Barbara was like, I'm going to get her. Like how she just like mean mugging the wife, Lila.
Oh yeah, she is.
Like,
she
I'm
is
gonna
like
get
just,
her. Like in that look she gave
right behind
like,
her.
And I just love how the way the paranormal is done, like interacting with like the real life stuff. I think it's just really cool how they did it and how they like display it. Like how some stuff is visible and others is not. The daughter can see it, but they like it's like the rules are really well done. And I just like how
we're getting like all the same kind of thing. It's just all from the ghost perspective, and or a little bit from both perspectives. We're kind of getting to see both, and I like that.
It would be a really cool cut if someone did the movie, but like took out all the stuff where the adults don't see it. Like if they're just looking at nothing, like when they get those vibes, and it's like, oh, it's cold. It'd be kind of cool to see it done up like that. Like Lydia would be like the only time you would see them is with Lydia.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that'd been a fun little take on it. Yeah. So let's see. There's a short scene where the Deetses are eating, and Delia is complaining that it's Cantonese. And I'm like, don't they have any Szechuan? Like, it's a small ass town. Be happy you get takeout of any kind, bitch. Damn, like.
You know what I had to do today? I went to Dollar General to buy ramen noodles. I had to end up going to the grocery store to get the ramen noodles I wanted. That's a small town,
like you have ordered
to go to, like, multi stores.
anything, and you're just like.
And no chicken. Only beef.
Oh,
Only beef ramen. There
ooh,
ain't no chicken
that's
here.
rough.
It's bullshit. I like
I mean,
beef ramen,
I'll eat it,
but like still
but
bullshit. I would like to get one chicken and one beef, but there's only beef. So like, get
so
fucked.
yeah,
With
there's like a little family squabble going on at the dinner table, and Dahlia's saying how everything must go and a remodel needs to take place, right?
And then a great line by Lydia. My whole life is a dark
Yeah,
room.
I just love her.
She got me, dude. Every time, whenever she's like,
It's
oh,
I
I
feel
just
that
love her
energy. I'm
delivery.
I'm rocking that vibe too. I get you, girl. I get you.
She would have been best friends with 11.
I don't know enough to comment. I don't know about that one. Next we see the construction crews are all over the property. Dahlia's being a hag, micromanaging the whole project, while the Maitlands are in the attic consulting their book when an ad falls out for a bioexorcist named Beetlejuice. They say it wrong, but yeah, I forgot how they said it, like Beetlegeist or something like that. They said it funny. It goes to Charles in the kitchen area telling a couple workers go take a break because he wants to fix him up like a cup of tea. And when all of a sudden a sculpture that is being craned up to like a higher level of the house swings into the window and wall and busts both of them. And Charles sticks his head out like, what the fuck? But my question is, what the fuck is a kitchen like that, or at least a kitchen setup, sink and countertop and little table there kind of doing on the second or third floor? I couldn't quite tell what floor it was on, but like that's just a strange setup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, in this world, there is no God. Because these people roll a crit natural when that happens to them, but our Barbara and Adam roll a 0 when they just go off this little bridge and fall 5 feet into like a creek.
Yeah, right.
Bullshit.
For people who don't know, he's talking about D&D rolls. So like,
yeah, like this is bullshit. Like these people should die. They should have died. If they trip, they should fucking break their necks. Fuck these people.
Like they sneeze, they break their back or something.
Lydia's cool. Jeez. Yeah. Like, why do these people always just get this? Oh, they just gotta walk through life like they already got all the money stuff. Then they get the natural rolls bullshit.
Oh yeah, so it is totally different. Like, yeah, the one family just zeros across the board, the other one's 20s across the board. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. Again, I had this thought experiment that some people are just naturally super lucky. You know, there has to be like the S curve or whatever. So you have the people who are naturally lucky, and then you have the people who are naturally unlucky. And we're like seeing a movie where like, what if they interacted? I guess like the one family just all dies.
Yeah, no, totally.
Kind of survivable situation. Yeah, and then these guys are like, they have all the money, they survived the near-death experiences. They just
I totally get it. Yep, that's what we're seeing right here.
It's
we're
super
seeing
fucked up.
We're seeing both sides of that, like the positive and negative effects, the poles.
Both sides of the coin. Yeah.
Yeah, so that thing crashed through the window and kind of wall area and just smashed through. You know, she's all tripping, like, oh my God, my sculpture, all that stuff. Lydia's outside taking pictures and sees the Maitlands in the window looking out at her. And that's when Jane pulls up. And Jane is like having a little chat with her and ends up giving her a skeleton key that she's supposed to, give to Charles. But instead of giving it to Charles, she heads upstairs and tries to get inside the attic with it. Meanwhile, the Maitlands are in the attic when an old TV pops on and it's an ad from Beetlejuice offering services to rid their house of the living. They notice that Lydia is trying to get in and they stop her attempt. Then they consult a book and it tells them that in case of emergencies, draw a door. So he grabs some chalk, Adam grabs some chalk and draws on the brick wall off to the side a door and knocks on it 3 times. And the door opens up, and it's an entrance to the afterlife, or hell, or purgatory, whatever. Some kind of spirit world. And honestly, I'd spend one fuck ton of time in there. Like, that'd be if I was Ghost, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna check this place out. I'd take the full fucking tour at least twice.
You'd be like a tourist. But
yeah, I'd be like, look at this. It's like that picture of Will Smith when he's going in Bel Air. There's that meme, they have of him just, like, looking out the window all excited. And, like, there was a meme back in the day that was just like, this is my face when I get to hell. Just like looking around, super happy, everything. Like, oh, look at that. Like, just excited. That's totally going to be me.
Also, we got to talk about Beetlejuice running an advertisement. Is he getting paid?
Like, how many other spirits are going to be sitting there just like, I guess, a lot of people die. So I guess there would be plenty of people needing some assistance, I guess.
maybe it's a numbers game. Like if I show this ad to 100 people, one person bites on it, and then I get like,
Yeah, I mean it's just like in the real world, I guess.
And it's also interesting with like how it's interacting. Like this is one of the few times where it's like the real world, where like like Lydia can hear it on the TV, where like a lot of times they're just like creating shit out of thin air.
Yeah,
it seems like what isn't actually there, So it's kind
but,
of.
I mean,
interesting
it goes
to see
into that whole kind of ghost lore where TVs just spontaneously turn on. It's like not The Grudge, but The Ring,
Paranormal Activity,
or Paranormal Activity, fun movie. Yeah, where like electronics turn off and on, so maybe he can't control it. But why would he have to do it for them to see if they're I don't know. After they go inside the door, it closes, and then we get a shot of the house after the remodel, and it just screams like a Tim Burton shot, that kind of, I don't know, angle and view, and just kind of how it's all, the house design and everything. It's just Tim Burton-esque, and I love it. Back with the Maitlands in the spirit realm, they go into a waiting room with a bunch of dead people in it, clearly having died from different things and situations. And Adam walks up to the counter. And did you notice that the number on the tape, like when he's going to take a tape or take a number to get called on, it's all a bunch of ones and zeros?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Like binary? I don't know. I just noticed that, and it was kind of fun.
Is.
Just seemed interesting.
Also, we're going to talk about how like people have to live as their like cut up self, or like if they got in a car accident or something. Like that's just another level of like, God, come on, man. Like I already died in a bullshit way in my 20s from a car crash.
I gotta struggle in the afterlife with like a decapitated head. I gotta carry this thing everywhere,
like what if you're like there's a lot of like fucked up like you could just be like a torso, like, and you just have to like hump your way around.
Yeah, like what if you like died on a surgery table and you're just like all splayed open all the time, like you gotta carry your guts around, like.
Oh my God! It's like just put me down for real, dude. Don't.
I want to be dead, not this halfway bullshit. Like, come on.
Yeah, fuck this purgatory bullshit. Just take me, Jesus. Like I'm out, man. I'm fucking gone.
So
like this is bullshit, bro.
They talk with the receptionist, Miss Argentina, and learn that they have to stay in that house for 125 years, and it's only been 2 months. So we get like a little timeline now. It's been 2 months since they've been dead. And
I like to think time goes like super quick when you're dead.
Yeah, that's
like,
what they do mention, that like time is considerably sped up compared to the living. So,
awesome.
They only get 3 appointments with their caseworker Juno in that 125 years. I'm not sure why they have to like 125 years until what.
Again, we don't know.
I was like, did I miss that or I don't think they ever mentioned why. Yeah.
I kind of like the idea, though, that the undead world doesn't make any sense. Like, our world is, like,
it might make sense to them, but we're looking at it from, like, biological human perspectives, not deceased human perspectives, I guess,
But again, I like the idea.
Yeah, no.
Like, you, like it's illogical and we're logical. Like, we live, we get old, and we die. But, like, this world doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of, that's what, it's just... That's why it's
spirit
dead,
world,
in the spirit world. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's upside down compared to our, right side up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's like a really cool way to reflect that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep, I like it.
Also, the shrunken head guy.
Love him.
Like when he looks over, hysterical.
I'm pretty sure I had an action figure of that guy or something when I was a kid. There was a toy of some kind. Maybe a McDonald's toy or something. I don't know. There's something.
When he just looks over, it's
just so slow, and just like
he's just like mean mugging him, like I don't know, I don't like the little shrunken head guy.
I love him. I thought you were gonna enjoy it.
No, he's cute. Yeah, but he's just he would give me the shiver down my spine if he just mean mugging me. I don't know what he's thinking.
I'd have so many questions for everybody, and I don't think I'd get much out of him, but I'd enjoy like hanging out.
I like to think it's like JFK. Like your head got blown off, so then it comes back as that.
Oh yeah, you don't get to communicate at all. You're just extra fucked in the afterlife.
Yeah, like they're like, well, you got to have a head. We can't let you walk around without that. So you get this bullshit little.
Or maybe it's like a spirit world. They don't need like an actual head to hear and see. They just have to like, I don't know, manage.
It's like
somehow.
a donut. It's like a donut on your car, like a donut wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it gets you to where you need to go.
It's only in case of emergencies. You only got about 40 miles. You got to get that thing going.
Yeah, you got to have another special appointment with the head guy.
Yeah. So, back in the waiting room, the Maitlands are waiting to see Juno, a guy who clearly died from setting himself on fire with a cigarette. The other dude with the shrunken head. Or they're like waiting in there with the guy who had clearly died from setting himself on fire with a cigarette. The other dude who had the shrunken head. They're all bug-eyed looking. It's adorable, kind of. I don't know. I love it. And I love how Miss Argentina's talking that she had her little accident, showing that she cut her wrist. But, it's the wrong way, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering.
Well, they didn't want to teach kids that at least.
I'm glad they draw the line somewhere. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, they literally draw the line.
Yeah, drew the line the opposite direction of effective, I guess. So, good for them. They make their way to Juno's office eventually. I love the hallway they go down, the checkered floored one with all the different...
I called it the MC Escher hallway.
It's a good analogy. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's good.
Visual representation?
Yeah, good way to put that. They go into a door that's supposed to be Juno's office when they realize that it's actually their home that has been remodeled by Dahlia. They meet Juno and realize that it's been 3 months since their death. So that whole time from the waiting room to getting into the office that's supposed to be Juno's, which is actually their house, a whole month had gone by. So, yeah. Basically, when they meet Juno, she chews them out a bit for, saying that their efforts to scare the Dietzes out has been worthless, and basically they just suck at haunting. The Maitlands ask Juno about the ad for Beetlejuice, who we find out was her old assistant, and she advises them not to use his services, but then proceeds to tell them exactly how to summon him. Like, bitch, you don't want him to use it, then don't tell him how to summon him. Like, are you serious?
Well, no, I think that actually I don't think that's bad advice, because it's like if you've already experienced this UFO, this like problem guy, you know what I mean? He's already trying to get you to say it. So if you he might trick you into saying it if you don't know.
But I don't think he did. Like, the ad didn't say my name 3 times and I'll appear or anything like that.
Well, yeah, but like eventually, like with Lydia, he tricks Lydia into doing it. So like he could totally trick them into doing it. So her telling him like, hey, you don't want to fuck with this guy. This is what he might try doing to you.
It's basically like, hey,
it's like a warning.
Here's this substance over here. It makes you feel really good, then it kills you. So don't take it at all. But or something, I can't think of a good analogy, but it's just like, really don't do this, but here's exactly how to do this, but it's really bad if you do it, but here's how you do it. Like, don't tell me how to do it.
It's like a wanted poster. Like, if you see this guy, call 911. It's like a wanted poster. It's telling you what to do in case some shit goes down. Or I guess in this case, what not to do.
I guess. It just still doesn't make any sense. I don't think it makes any sense. I think it's silly. I think it's backwards and broken. So anyway, okay.
Also, I love Juno. Juno's little
I know she's kind of great. We're back at the house. Like, not through the office. I don't know if they just kind of like, oh, we're back here and just went upstairs or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're back at the house, and Barb and Adam are dressed up in bed sheets like ghosts, howling and moaning like ghosts.
So funny.
Old school classic
and banging. The daughter, Lydia's like, oh my God, get a room.
Yeah.
There's kids here.
She thinks her parents, Charles and Dahlia, are fooling around. It
sounded like it was great. It was done so well.
But they're trying to scare Charles and Dahlia, and it doesn't work at all. Lydia hears the moaning and such and thinks that it's her parents doing some sexy time stuff, but realizes it's not them fooling around, but Barb and Adam under the sheets. They find out she can see them, and Lydia reveals that she found their handbook, and that she had found a passage that explains how live people ignore the strange and unusual, and she considers herself one of those people. And that's how she can see the Maitlands.
No, I consider myself strange and unusual.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so good.
Such a good delivery. Yeah. So funny. I love it. When Noah Ryder steals the show for me.
She does a great job.
Put her in everything.
Like She's so funny. A young talent at this time. This is like, her second movie, I think?
I have no idea.
I think I read some this is her second film, so I'm pretty sure. She had one before this, and like, I think she's 19 in this, and then she was either 19 and her first one was 17, or she's 17 now in this movie, and she was 15 when she did her first role. I forgot what it was. I should have wrote it down. Crap. Anyway, the Maitlands tell her that they're trying to scare them out of the house, but she tells them that they're going to have to up their game a little bit because the sheets just ain't going to work. Like, they ain't cutting it. It cuts to a shot outside of the house again, and in great Tim Burton form, we see some freakish, like, multi-armed machine tearing up the yard. Just love it. It's fun. It's great. Tim Burton. Love you. Lydia tries talking to Delia about the ghosts and how the ghosts want them to leave. But Delia doesn't believe her, and the Maitlands see this and decide that they need some help, and they decided to try Beetlemeyer. Like Beetlemeyer is nothing close to Beetlejuice, and like you just heard the name. I don't get why.
That was months ago, dude.
Well, maybe for like the humans, but for them it was just like, I don't know, half an hour ago while they're upstairs.
I don't know. Who knows how it works, though? Their brains might not be able to hold new information
for very long. Well, apparently they can remember the people's names and everything like that. I don't know.
You can explain everything away, though, by ghost logic. I don't need to have logic.
I'll allow it just because of the way of this movie, you know, just how it is. And we're talking about spirit realms. And we're back in the attic, and they see a little light above Beetlejuice's grave, like on their model town set. And they decide to say his name 3 times, which shrinks them down to the size of the model, and they have to dig him out of his grave. And I love how it's like plasticky looking grass and everything. Then foam,
the miniature
and
set,
cardboard.
Awesome.
But like the cardboard of it, it's just like a bunch of regular sized boxes instead of like one large piece of cardboard that he probably would have used and just like kind of see the section. It's like a whole size of normal sized cardboard boxes. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was strange, like with the writing on the side of it and everything. Like, shouldn't it just be one giant looking chunk of like a side thing of cardboard? I don't know. Little.
No,
I'm getting nitpicky.
I
know I'm getting a little nitpicky, but
I think I give it a 10 out of 10. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like the visual effects are really, really cool. Like I do feel like they are at the miniature version of like the set.
Just,
like
it took me out a little bit because the boxes were normal size boxes instead of just like what you'd see if you were a tiny person looking at the side of a ripped piece of cardboard. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Supreme, we're gonna have to disagree.
Okay,
we're gonna. Like I think they did a good job. I'm
not saying it's a bad job. I'm just saying, just took me out a little bit. All right, so they dig him out and they seem to immediately regret it. He is very nutty, spastic, super pervy, but I find his whole performance amazing. What he was doing, just totally erratic, all over the place, just kind of twitchy and wiggly. Just love it. I thought he did a great job.
His fucking delivery in this opening scene, like he has some bangers.
He
like
sets
the
the bar.
Qualifications line, the qualifications, and he's like super serious.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Fucking got me, dude. Like I was not prepared for Beetlejuice to just go like, oh, I went to Juilliard.
Yeah.
Like totally caught me off. And then it's like, oh, we actually care about how you scare people. Then he turns around and does the fucking jerk off like this motherfucker.
Yeah, no,
like,
I love
it's
the
so
whole
funny.
interaction is just gold. It's fucking great. So Beetlejuice tries to strike a deal with them, but they decide that they want to leave. Like they're like, fuck this, never mind. We made a wrong choice. They want to leave. So Barb's says home 3 times, and they pop up out of the model, and they decide to try to scare the Deetses themselves again. Even though they just suck at it. Whatever. Like.
Well, I feel like they leveled up, though. I just want to talk about that.
Yeah.
After the Beetlejuice conversation. Because it's like, when they first tried to scare them, it seemed like their shit was like, they used sheets. So they went from doing like this kiddie bullshit.
Well, no, the first
normie.
one they do, they're like little death scenes and had his head cut off and all that shit.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then they went to
right.
sheets,
yeah,
like, because, you know, you can actually see the sheets that they're embodying, basically. Like, over the body, because they wouldn't be able to see their bodies, but they can see the outline of them with underneath the sheets. So
I would have been down for a little bit of an airbender training sequence of like them bending a pot or something. Like showing us how they learned how to like, because everything else has just been them with their bodies, like, you know, pulling shit out like Play-Doh or whatever. It would have been kind of cool to see them like fucking with like a dresser or something.
I'm guessing like to inhabit the bodies or shit and have them dancing and stuff. They must have like read the book maybe a little bit. Maybe the book had a little guide like, this is how you possess.
That's true. The book is awesome. I love the concept of them. Also, really shit delivery. I guess a very cold and dead delivery by the spirit world. Like, oh yeah, we're just going to give you a book. and expect you to know that you have 125 years in your house and that we're going to have 3
And
appointments.
like, what years? Are
Like,
we
what
talking
the fuck?
the dead years or the live years? That's what I'm questioning here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to go off 3. That's just because of Earth, man. We go off of that. There's no Earth in the spirit realm. Is there an Earth?
Well, they're
How
on
does
some
this work?
sandworm planet, so like, I don't know.
yeah, Jupiter or whatever. Saturn,
Yeah, I think it was Saturn. Yeah, I forgot what
that.
they said. Saturn or something like that. Like a Saturn.
And why is Saturn so important? I want to know that. Like, why is it linked to Saturn?
I can start breaking down what I've learned through the occult, but we're not going to go down that route right now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd have to refresh on all that anyway. I can give specifics. Anyway, so this is like the only scene that I remember from when I was a kid. And it's, for some reason, this stuck with me throughout all the years. They're at this dinner party that Delia throws to show off her sculptures to some high-class art ditties. And when all of a sudden Delia breaks out singing the Banana Boat song. And the entire group ends up singing and dancing.
We got some stuff, though.
If you jump ahead.
Civil servant? No, this is before the day. I have it written. I have time codes, motherfucker. Civil servants is like, if you kill yourself, you'll be a civil servant.
Oh, that's where it was said? Because
Oyo
you mentioned that earlier. I'm like, I don't remember that part.
Otho. Yeah, Otho
Otho
says that as a joke before they start singing.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's really cool to me that like we probably say stupid shit like that. Like I wish I would have something on like we say like, some stupid saying like that, but it actually turns out to be true. Like I like to think he doesn't know that, of course. So he's like, I've always heard.
But he has dabbled
and I'm like, I
in
love
the occult
idea.
as well, so maybe he...
So yeah,
he
might
maybe
actually
did
know,
actually
I guess.
know, yeah.
Which is cool though. I like that.
There's
how,
always
some
that
people
one person in the
world-
group that's a little more into that kind of content, and he's just that guy.
Because to me, like Beetlejuice is like an alternative world thing because it's like instead of Bloody Mary, it's like Beetlejuice is the thing. So it's like, to me, I look at it as like, in their world, the spirit world works like that, and like this guy knows that or whatever. Where, again, I don't think that's how I like to think about it. Alternative world. Some people, like my buddy Jamie's like, it all happens here and we don't know about it. I don't care. Fuck that.
Well, I'm right there with you I'm right there with you. So
Love
the entire group ends up singing and dancing.
Awesome scene. Kind of horrifying.
And like, I don't know, I wouldn't show such like a pleasant song or whatever, I guess. And they all seem to have like more of a good time than being terrified. Like, because you can see them looking around like, what's happening? But then they're just like grooving and diving and getting into it. So,
well, I like to think that like in the beginning, they let them have their like facial expressions and they're only moving the muscles, But then like halfway through, they like started doing that. Would have been kind of cool. I wish they would have done it like a Joker thing almost, like overdone it. Like you can tell it's just like somebody like doing
facial
this
expressions.
to them.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, but like no, this whole scene is like an acid trip.
Yeah,
like it just comes out of nowhere.
It's like, what'd you put in this wine?
It's really good.
Like, what'd you put in this food? Like in these giant shrimp.
And the choreography. Like, I'm not saying that word right, but you know what I mean. The dancing is really like when they have the butts poking out. It's just so so devoted, like it's crazy.
It's just
like you can't sit there and be like, that's natural. It's so funny to me.
So they end up all sitting back down, and then the shrimp bowl that they have in front of them turns into like a shrimp hand and grabs them all by the face. That kind of like that's a terrifying thing that could happen right there. Like that should have been pretty damn scary in my book.
No, that would fuck me up.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all sitting there like
that.
giggling and shit. Like, no, this is not, or like, you're entertained by that. I was not entertained. I
just shit myself.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
You smell that? That's me, because that was terrifying. Yeah. So the Maitlands are seen celebrating and laughing, thinking they succeeded in scaring them, only to find that the Dietzes were greatly amused by the occurrence.
Insert late stage capitalism, how these motherfuckers are trying to profit off.
Exactly, and they the Dietzes immediately start thinking of ways to make money from the situation.
Worst people ever. They're like Harry Potter's step-parents.
Yeah, it didn't even flinch them that the supernatural event just happened. They're like, we can make some money with this. Like, shut the fuck up and like embrace what the hell just happened, please, just for a second.
Also, like, you were literally physically controlled for like a 3-minute like dance thing, like dance sequence. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I would be fucking running for the hills. Yeah, like, that's horrifying.
I would not be having a good time. That would not be pleasant. I don't know why. I mean, Maybe it would be just because like nothing seriously happened and it was like a fun little song, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah, wait until like they make you stab yourself to death or something. Super scary.
Or
You know
like
what I mean?
stab the person to your left. You know, anything else could have happened. Like what? Yeah. You have that little control over your situation and body. I wouldn't be so amused. But anyway, they're trying to make some money with it. They remember that, like, Lydia can see him and everything like that. So the Deetzes send Lydia upstairs to go bring the ghost down. But the Maitlands don't want to come down. So the group goes up to the attic, demanding that the Maitlands show themselves. They don't find any...
Well,
what?
But then, before that, though, those other guys leave, like, immediately.
Yeah, they're like, well, that was fun, okay. And then, like, they dip out.
Well, they waited, like, a minute. Like, what the fuck? They didn't even go up to the attic? Like, you just had this whole, like, 4-minute dance thing and saw Spaghetti, like... punch you in the face or like fist, like, do the face thing.
And aren't they
like,
discussing like their potential of this becoming a money making thing, and then they're like, oh well, we'll be in touch or something like that. Like, get the fuck.
Yeah, like I wish that makes no sense. Like if I just saw that crazy shit, I would be like, okay, and I was serious about doing something with that. Yeah, I would hang out for like an hour.
Yeah,
at
like
least
discussing
like
break down and decompress. Like what just like happened? Did we all just like experience that? That was for real? You didn't put no drugs in the food or drink? Oh, okay. So that was I'm gonna have to go get some therapy for a couple weeks and I'll be in touch, or something. It's just like, damn, that would be a little more like, even for me, and I'm all on the fringes of like, occult stuff, like, I'm all about that kind of thing and experiencing something like that. Like I need a little time to process that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just to like blow it off as something what doesn't even happen is crazy to me.
It's just it's a little mind-boggling. It kind of goes to show who those kind of people are. They're probably just trying to rationalize it in their head, like, oh, it's just blah blah blah. Let's make some money. So the group goes upstairs to the attic, demanding that the Maitlands show themselves. They don't find anyone, but see the model town, and Charles loves it.
But wait, there's a line in here by the mom or stepmom being like, "How do they get in?" Normie shit, because the door was locked.
Yeah,
normie shit.
ghosts.
You don't know nothing about nothing. They're fucking ghosts. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, so
that's some basic bitch
and
ass
they
shit.
can't
I do not
be
even know
seen,
that.
Right? And so
yeah,
hang on. Now that point will come up here in a second. So Charles loves the little model town. He's all checking it out, and while he's checking it out, and the Deetzes are kind of just chatting over there, Otho finds the handbook of the recently deceased and steals it. But then, like, they're heading out of the attic, which I think they're like heading up more stairs, which kind of is weird to me. I would love to see the floor plan of this house. But the Maitlands were hiding out the window, like, you can't be seen by anyone but Lydia.
No,
so
but
why are you
Lydia,
hiding?
Yeah.
Well, Lydia would just
from
be
Lydia.
like,
She's
they could just be like,
Lydia.
shh, don't say nothing. I'm sure Lydia would be like, all right, whatever. So they're just like hanging
you
out the
can't
window.
count on her. She's still a teenager, though. She could flip
She
on
could
you.
have snitched. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess. But it's just kind of like they're hiding from the adults that are sitting there trying to capitalize on this situation. And I just don't think they need all those extra steps to hang out the window and hide. I would just like, went through the wall to the other room or downstairs. I don't know. So they're leaving the attic. Charles thinks that there's money to be made some way with all this. His enthusiasm changes quickly when Beetlejuice appears as a giant rattlesnake with a human head with fang teeth.
Horrifying.
Scaring the whole family. Otho gets knocked down the stairs, and Charles gets dropped.
He could have died there, dude.
Yeah, he should have broke something.
That's crazy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then Otho gets knocked down the stairs, and Charles gets dropped to the third floor. Or again, dropped to the lower floor from, like, what, the second or third floor balcony there? Like...
rolling 100s across the board, this piece of shit family.
No permanent damage by any means, or like, any sort of substantial damage. Like, damn, lucky sons of bitches.
There is no God. There is no God in this world.
Definitely not. Barb made...
Also, I thought... Wait,
go ahead.
line I came up with for Beetlejuice is, you wanted an amusement park? I'm the thrill ride.
That would have been... Is that a line?
No, I came up with
yeah.
that.
Well,
That
should have been a line,
it'd be
then.
like,
I like
something like that. You could make it more succinct, but like something, you have to have thrill ride in there. Like, I'm ready to take you on a thrill ride or something.
Yeah, you want... I would... That totally has a place. I can see that for reals being a potential line in the movie. So yeah, he gets dropped to the lower floor from that balcony, Barb manages to get rid of Beetlejuice by saying his name 3 times. Lydia trips out, thinking that it was the Maitlands doing the scaring, and does this dramatic run to her room like, oh, you know, it's like, I can't believe you guys did this. Teenager shit. Back in the attic, the Maitlands confront Beetlejuice and basically tell him that was fucked up what you did. And Beetlejuice was in the model, and the Maitlands were like normal size. So Barb picks him up, and picks up Beetlejuice, threatening him to stay away from Lydia when he like produces a bunch of spikes like out of his body. And she, you know, drops him, and he gets distracted by some ghost strip club all of a sudden.
Yeah, and this is like, Adam, why'd you build that?
Yeah. Like, why'd you build it? And he's like, I didn't. Like, I don't know.
So funny. So funny. And then also, like, he's like, why would you interrupt a master artist in the middle of his thing? Like, when he's the snake?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you just let him finish?
Isn't this what you asked for?
Lydia
and,
was
like,
scared,
the Dietzes didn't get harmed, so, like, what you tripping about? Oh, the little girl's upset? Well, isn't that what you're like? Who gives a fuck? As long as they, like, dip out of the house.
I think it shows how good these people are, that they would rather not scare a little girl than have share their house with these assholes. Like,
yeah.
That's how, and again, that's why there's no God in this fucking universe. No. Because Adam and Barbara are, like, the greatest people of ever, and they get killed for, like, seemingly no reason. Like, it's fucked
From
up.
her bad driving that wasn't even that bad because she wasn't going fast enough to be bad at it. Like, anyway. So Beetlejuice is getting distracted by that ghost strip club when the Maitlands are whisked back before Juno, who yells at them again for breaking the rules. Having photos taken of them, letting Beetlejuice out, Otho getting the book. They can't have proof for the living that there is an afterlife. I guess that's one of the rules.
You dumb motherfuckers in your stupid little house can't fuck this up for everybody else, all right? Yeah, like, get your shit together.
Like, we have our thing going here, and you guys are ruin it, okay? She tells them that they need to do better. And so Barb and Adam are contorting their faces into crazy demon monster-looking things. Really love the visuals on this.
Horrifying. This would have ruined me as a child. This would have set me back 3 years, man.
Yeah, for children, I'm like, PG.
Oh my God.
I mean, PG parental guidance, but like, I don't know. Maybe like a disturbed child like myself, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But a pampered child like you might have, had a.
Oh no, it would have set me back. And it's so funny because like I'm sure on paper it looks like a little cartoon. Especially like Adam's face, like the bird looking thing. But like when it's in person, oh my God, it's fucking horrific. Yeah, it is horrifying.
That would be something else.
That is nightmare fuel. That is like if you walked into your room and you saw that staring back at you, nah, man, I'm out.
But Juno seemed pleased with how their new appearance, and is like,
you guys look great.
Not bad. All right, she's like, cool.
Which is so funny in that.
Yeah, I know.
You look great.
She's like, yeah, all right, you look great. And I like that. So, while they're talking to Juno, Lydia is so upset that she's writing a suicide letter, wasting so much paper, like just killing trees, and like writing so hard.
She's about to kill herself. She doesn't care. She's like
writing so hard that you can see what she was writing on the fresh, like what she had written on the page she tossed on the next page. I don't know if you noticed that, but I did. I'm like, damn, she was pressing hard. That's a little pet peeve of mine. I've just like when people do that, I'm like, how can you live with yourself pressing so damn hard that you can see it on the next page? Drives me crazy. Anyway, she takes the letter to the attic to say goodbye to the Maitlands. When she sees Beetlejuice and the model just chillaxing. He's just hanging out. I think he's got like some cucumbers on his eyes or something like that. Just having a little day to himself, And he tells her that he can help her find the Maitlands if she says his name's 3 times. And she asks what his name is, but he can't just tell her what his name is. Again, more afterlife ghost rules, I guess.
Because his life will become a living hell if everybody starts doing it like
I love that shit.
And that would totally be true,
He's like,
right?
I'll just have people calling me all the time. It'll just be a big mess,
Because, like, kids can see him, so, like, kids would totally do it.
Yeah, it'd be like a Bloody Mary thing, only with, like, this kooky fucking spirit guy.
Yeah. And his life would totally be hell, because he would just be popping all over the place, like, teleporting all the time. Like, he couldn't get shit done.
Yeah.
He couldn't run his little
He couldn't have his little, like, spa day that he was having. He wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
So
he couldn't go to the ghost strip club. His whole fucking operation would be ruined.
Just get summoned away all the time at any random moment, yeah.
I would have loved like a flashback scene of like the 1920s or something where like everybody did know it, and it just shows him being like, oh fuck,
Yeah, this sucks. And then like all those people die off eventually, and like, okay, some peace.
He's like,
yeah.
no, never again, never again.
And then like it goes to this movie where he's just like, okay, I need some work. You know, I haven't done anything for a while. Let me go check it out. You know, and does the advertisement. Yeah, that would have been a good like backstory segue thing.
Yeah. Also, I was going to ask the question, just in general, dead versus alive in the Beetlejuice universe. Would you rather be dead or alive? Because they kind of talk about that, how they don't want Lydia to become dead. And I'm like, I don't know. Being dead seems kind of cool.
It'd be a trip.
Still mess with
like,
stuff.
You know, since I could be, if I were known it's going to be happening, like we're not supposed to, because Juno says the living can't know there's an afterlife. If like I know I'm going to go there, I'd be like, yeah, I'll just go live it up for a little while. I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go try that shit out and just off myself somehow in a way that would be convenient for me to manage, like on the other side, like poisoning myself or something.
Like if you're gonna hang out at your house for
or something, then
years,
I could just be like high for the afterlife. That'd be kind of dope. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be funny. That's a funny concept. Like if you're just really drunk,
just wasted for
stumbling
eternity.
and shit. Yeah, like I love that idea.
Yeah.
But like that could be cool. Like you're drunk for 125 years.
I still want to know what happens after the 125 years, though. Tell me what happens.
Yeah, no.
Maybe we'll get that in Beetlejuice.
You like flip
Beetlejuice too. Maybe they'll answer some of these questions.
Beetlejuice. They got to do a trilogy. I know Michael Keaton's really old, but you got to do.
Is he
trilogy,
like?
right?
He can't be. I mean,
he's pretty fucking old at this point.
60s, 70s, 60s maybe.
I'll look it up. But like they got to do a trilogy. You got to do Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, you right,
Beetlejuice.
dude. You right. That ain't like.
I don't care. It can be the worst piece of shit ever. It just has to.
Well, if he's dead or something, they just got to animate it. Do some AI work. It'd be all right.
He's 73 years old.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. In celebrity years, that's like 53. So.
Yeah. Hey, Harrison Ford was just in Captain America 4, and he's like 82.
Yeah. See, it's like 70's the new 50. It's all good.
Yeah.
For celebrities, people with lots of money.
Yeah. They haven't had to do like a real days of work.
I mean, I don't know. I listen to this podcast and actors talking. They have a lot of work they do have to do. It's some
They
work.
got long hours. I'll give them that.
But then once they're done, they get to go live in luxury as fuck, and it takes years off their life instead of put them on. Like we have to still grind every fucking day. Anyway.
Yeah. We love you, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's great. From what I've seen him in, legend. I haven't seen him in much, but he's great. So yeah, he's trying to tell her what his name is without saying it outright. So he tries to do charades. So like he shows her some like images of Juice and a beetle and stuff like that. They get beetle and then he like shows Juice because you can't really say that out. And I like the like old school CGI of the Juice. Carton getting poured and everything. And by the time like she figures out the name and she's about to say it for the third time, she realizes he was a snake. And was like, I want to talk to Barb. And he's trying to get her to say what?
And I love how he's like, we don't need Barbara. Like just the way he's like, come on, we don't need
just
Barbara.
Say it one more time. Come on, like what? Don't stop. You're right there. Yeah. He keeps trying to get her to say it the third time when the Maitlands appear. And Lydia explains that she was trying to use Beetlejuice's help to find them on the other side. Barb explains they're dead. And Lydia is like, yeah, I want to be dead too. And then Barb talks her out of it by explaining how they're going to invite the family to live there and allow them to stay. Like, don't worry about dying. We're not going to try to scare you off. We're just going to invite you to stay and we're going to like cohabitate. You know what I'm saying?
Ghost friends, man. This is way better than like imaginary friends. It's, like if they're cool, like Barbara and Adam.
Yeah, never trust a child's imaginary friend because it could be a ghost. I don't play with that. Kids can see shit that us adults can't see no more. Like
again, yeah, you gotta have a cool ghost. It's only on that. Like Barbara and Adam are cool, but you could have like a total dickhead ghost.
Like Beetlejuice,
who's all fucked up and shit. Like Beetlejuice, yeah, some Beetlejuice-esque character.
So just then, Otho and Charles come into the attic, and Lydia and the Maitlands hide. Otho and Charles grab up Adam's model of the town and take it downstairs to use as a prop for a presentation to Charles's business associate, Maxie Dean. I just thought that was kind of it's supposed to be like a high-class sounding name, but it just kind of sounds like, I don't know, an ad for some breakfast sandwich, a frozen breakfast sandwich. Like, instead of Jimmy Dean, it's Maxie Dean. This is a breakfast
No, get Maxidine for the woman in your life.
Yeah, right.
Like, it sounds like like a tampon.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tampon brand.
Alluding, I think, associating MaxiPad, Maxidine, like
Yeah.
the new and improved.
Exactly. Maxidine. The maxi pad for your growing girl.
Oh, that's.
Your growing woman.
There you go.
Yeah, there
you go. I'll cut out the first
one.
one.
You totally could see the commercial. You could see the commercial.
Where Charles is given an overview of his plan to turn the town into a paranormal themed attraction.
Insect zoo, eh? That could be cool. Could be cool.
I mean, if you put up like little cameras
right.
and like filmed it, and you could have some fun with that.
Honestly, have like insect wars where you just like make the ants have a bunch of kids, and then you make them battle like some other insects. I'd be totally down. I'm totally down. Nobody cares about insects. Let's have insect war, like battle bots, but
I don't know. They outnumber us like
insects.
1 billion to 1, so I'm not fucking with them. I'm good.
Again, if they ever got to the size of dogs, it's game over. Or like come from an alien asteroid like Starship Troopers, we're fucked. It's game over.
So Charles wants.
They don't fear death.
Charles wants Charles wants Lydia to show the Maitlands to their guests. She refuses, and Otho chimes in and says he has a way to summon them. We don't need you. It's good. So, by using the handbook and the Maitlands' wedding clothes, Otho performs a seance that forces Barb and Adam to appear before them. When they appear, they begin to deteriorate, like for the amount of time they've actually been dead, which I'm assuming has been like, 6 months to a year by now in ghost time. Their ghostly form is turning back into decaying corpses, like they should be. And Lydia and Charles want Otho to stop because they're like, we're making this, like, we're fucking up. This is not good. And he's like, I don't know how. Lydia trips out and goes to the model and sees Beetlejuice in the graveyard just doing his thing, and she begs him for his help. Beetlejuice agrees on the condition that Lydia and him get married. She agrees.
These aren't my rules.
Yeah, he's like, this is just how it goes. But
I just love that.
But maybe it's not.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I just love how the delivery and, like, again, the nonsensical world. Like, if I want to get back alive, I gotta marry a child. Which is weird, dude. Very weird, Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I just... Anyway, so Lydia...
Also, I got some fun thing to drop. He says a marriage of inconvenience, which I did a Fable 3 quest the other day, which is called A Marriage of Inconvenience. So I
wonder if it's a tribute to the movie.
To Beetlejuice. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I think now.
What do you have to do in the quest?
You had to, like, get this. There's a guy named William, named to a chick who's like a total bitch, and you have to get the chick to marry you so William can break up with her and divorce her, and she doesn't get anything.
Sounds about right. I don't know.
And it's really cool because there's a choice at the end where you can side with her actually and then kill William, and then you get all of William's stuff. Or you can just like walk out and they get divorced, and that's how that goes through.
Oh, well, spoilers for anybody playing the game. I'm just kidding.
Well, Fable 3 is like over a decade old. Suck my dick.
All right, so Lydia agrees and says his name 3 times. And he says, it's showtime. And this is like one of those things I remember from way back too. It was in some sort of ad for Warner Brothers like movies or something like that, I think. I just remember seeing a bunch of clips of different movies for like the ad of this company. Just that Beetlejuice, it's showtime was used in that clip. I don't know, just a little something I remember. Anyway, long time ago. So then he emerges from the model full size with some merry-go-round on his head. And this is where Jack Skellington appears. Tim Burton had been drawing Jack since 1982, but The Nightmare Before Christmas came out 5 years later than Beetlejuice in 1993. So this is kind of like a little trial run for his animated movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Kind of fun. Just saying.
Yeah, it's cool that he's like technically in the Tim Burton universe before The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, when he appears out of the model, he has this merry-go-round on his head, and his arms are like these giant hammer arms. And those 2 guests, Maxie Dean and his wife, are like the little balls at a carnival that, you know, you hit the mallet and the like balls shoot up and ding the bell. They're the little balls that go up and ding the bell instead of balls. Anyway, so he smashes down the little depressor thing that will shoots up the Maxie Dean and his wife up through the ceiling and into, like, upper levels of the house. And then the Maitlands are shown to be freed from the grip of Otho's seance. But they're still, like, all in shriveled up form. So they're, like, still, like, decayed looking and everything. Beetlejuice proceeds with the wedding. Some alien-looking demon. Interesting, because before they were considered aliens like we know them today, the big-eyed aliens that we all know, they used to be known as demons back in the day. There was many references to the same kind of description as modern-day aliens. Just fun fact from, real-life stuff. Just letting you know. Or, real-world instances a part of. But that alien demon thing is there to officiate the wedding. Beetlejuice takes Charles and Delia hostage with Delia's animated sculptures. Like, he animates them somehow, and they, like, come up crawling around like giant bug creature things. He takes them hostage to be witness to the marriage. Apparently the same rules apply because marriage is a ritual, as anyway, and like the ring, all that stuff. It's all a big magical ritual. If I could break that down later on some other podcast or like whatever, talk to me personally. And then, seeing all this, Otho just like dips the fuck out. He's like, I'm out of here. And he takes off. But we see that the Maitlands are starting to regenerate while this is all happening. They're starting to get their like color back. They're not all shriveled up as much anymore and everything. And they're trying to say Beetlejuice's name 3 times. He stops them, sending Adam to the model and Barb into the sand planet with the sandworms. And they're both like in this big struggle to get back before Beetlejuice is able to complete the marriage ritual. So Barb shows back up riding one of the worms because she's just been in charge of them from the gate and just thugging it up and just like, just lassoed one of them and took it over. And Adam comes driving up in a little model truck, hitting Beetlejuice in the foot as Barb comes down on her worm that eats Beetlejuice, doing away with him and saving Lydia, who was in a dope-ass wicked red dress, by the way. Like a dope little red wicked wedding dress. Just looked dope. Just give props. Yeah, so it stops the ritual before it's completed. And then all of a sudden it's just kind of like the end scene. And it cuts to Lydia leaving school looking all cheery, kind of like Matilda looking. I don't know. For some reason the Matilda vibes are coming off. I don't know if you remember that movie, but I do.
Danny DeVito, I think, directed that.
Did he? He was in it. He was like the evil stepdad or something. I forgot. Anyway, different time, different movie. So she's leaving school all cheery. She gets back to the house, and the Maitlands and the Dietzers are now cohabitating. We hear that they've been helping her with her schoolwork, and as a reward for her passing the test they've been helping her with to get prepared for it, they do some like supernatural shit, and they levitate her while she's all dancing to Shake Sonora song.
Awesome ending. Yeah. Really love it.
And everyone's all happy.
It's really fun.
But Beetlejuice, who is stuck waiting to talk to his caseworker, still pulling schemes on others until his head gets shrunk, like that one guy's head, and basically that's the end.
You know what I think the punishment should have been?
Right.
It should have been, like, they put out, somehow, like, it gets advertised, his name, like, the spirit world, that's how they punish him at, like, a court.
Oh, no, like, Maitland's,
and they somehow...
Maitland should have, like, got an ad out in the real world, like, if you want to have some fun with your friends on a weekend, summon Beetlejuice by saying his name 3 times, just like this, Beetlejuice, like, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Or have, like, a news report, like, this is taking the nation by storm, and that's, like, his punishment.
And he's just in there just stressed out, out of breath, fucking going from place to place, getting summoned everywhere, people just giggling and fucking around,
Yeah, and then like a little kid says it, and he's like, God damn it, Jimmy. like he just freaks out on him.
Stop calling
I'm tired of your bullshit. And then like halfway through yelling at that kid, he gets teleported to another kid, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And that's like his punishment. Like it's a reference, that reference from earlier in the movie. I think that would have tagged it together more to me.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think? Thoughts, feelings?
I really had a good time with this movie. It's a good time. It's like one of those few movies I feel like you could watch on a Halloween. Like it feels Halloween-y without having to like go for the scares, and I think that's really.
It feels like almost like any weekend night you just want to chill and get a good laugh in, or like almost like it's got to be like definitely a night movie, like a fun night movie. But it's just like something you can sit back, relax, have some slightly disturbing imagery, but also just a good laugh. It's just I don't know. I thought it was good all around. Definitely requires parental guidance.
Yeah, no, I would not show this to a young child.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. Depends how mature the kid is, all that stuff like that. Like, I'm sure I watched it when I was too young or something like that. That's why I don't really remember it. I don't know. I just remember that one part of the dancing, which is kind of weird. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good time. Good time. I don't really have any questions or concerns other than, like, well, first off, like, what happens after the 125 years? That's the question.
Yep. We don't know.
That's about it.
What do you do in the spirit world? Like there's people waiting in a line for an appointment, and then you have the civil servants, and that's all we know, really. Like, where does everyone? What happens to everyone else?
Well, you got those people in that ghost room that are all like, you know, the lost souls forever.
Do people get reincarnated?
If you're one of those lost souls, can you get out of that? I have a lot of questions, I guess.
I think that's kind of cool though if they don't answer them, because then it lets us kind of fill in the gaps ourselves.
That is true.
Because we don't have answers, and I kind of, I guess it's nice to, again, that's like, we're always trying to search for answers in our living, real life, that the spirit world is the opposite.
I guess so. People just accept things for what they are. There's nothing really to question, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it.
Like, math would not exist in the spirit world.
If it did, it'd be some wonky shit. Like, well, it's all about threes and shit, because you still got to knock on the door 3 times and all that stuff. And there's significant numbers throughout. Like, I'm guessing that cross the borders there, cross the borders of like the spirit realm,
existence,
and like the human realm or the living realm. All right, so performances. What you got for MVP?
Winona Ryder. I just really loved everything she said. She ends this movie with her little dance number.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Like, my life is dark. I every time she just made me smile throughout this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
and for being so young too, and being like her second movie, like for doing that, yeah, no, I think she totally.
I give it up to Michael Keaton just for that initial scene where he's in, like, that just for me sold the whole movie. I fucking loved it. It was hilarious. The interaction, his just getting serious and talking like, actually, like when he's giving his credentials and stuff.
Yeah, the Juilliard thing killed me.
That shit was
no.
That was a gag. It was fucking great.
Well, my most valuable side actor is Michael Keaton.
Mine is Otho.
Which is like
I just like Otho. I don't know.
Weird.
His vibe, everything. He just like, kind of just like the thug.
He's in Demolition Man. I think you would like him in Demolition Man.
I've never seen it, so.
Yeah, that movie's good. I think that movie's actually quite relevant nowadays. I think you would like it more than me, I think.
Well, I'm.
It's about the world being a bunch of weenies. About, like, oh no, we don't know how to stop real criminals anymore.
Criminals? Sorry.
That word is impossible to say.
I've heard you say it before after I've corrected you before, but we're not. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you do it. I just like it now. I'm gonna get it when we get all popular. I'm gonna get a little shirt that says, our little logo, but then criminals.
I want it to be like a Animal Cracker style, like Two Bros One Film, Criminal, because it feels like it's like a shitty Animal Cracker brand.
We'll work on it together because I dig it. I'm about that. Favorite quotes?
Ooh, this is something I meant to mention, but I never did. We must miss it. But it's like, I'm preparing a dinner for 7 people. I love how stressed out the stepmom was about that.
I don't need to hear about your dead
like,
friends or something like that. Your ghost friends.
Yeah,
all that shit.
Yeah. I don't need to see those pictures. Yeah. You motherfucker. And then I love the little reference to like the Bigfoot. Like it's like my Bigfoot photos. Nothing.
Yeah, it's like hey, like don't. That's like. Don't talk about my Bigfoot photos, okay? It's nothing like that.
those are real.
Very
dude. That shit was awesome.
about it. Like, okay, but that's your photo. Let's see. I had down when the reception is like, I wouldn't have my little accident. Just like the dead people laugh and everything. I love it.
Juilliard.
Yeah, the Juilliard part is like by far one of my favorites. I didn't put that on there. I should have. It was just kind of like a long dialogue thing there. I could just that whole scene just. Go rewatch that. It's great.
Yeah, the jerk off. I love the this fucking guy. Like the little motion. It's so funny.
Beetlejuice at one point he says, "Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose." I just like, damn, that's some bars right there. Like the other one was the preacher's like, "Do you take this woman to be your wedded wife?" And Beetlejuice runs off to the side, mumbling to himself, "Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a big decision, isn't it? I mean, I always said if I ever did it, I was gonna do it once, and that's it. Oh, well. And then runs back to the altar and stands next to Lydia. You know, he's just like, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was good.
That's good. Those are my favorites. I don't know if you got any fun facts. You got any fun facts? Because I got a list.
I got none. All
right, well, let me break some of these down. It's kind of fun stuff. Michael Keaton, or Beetlejuice, only had 17 minutes of screen time in the whole movie.
Wild. I did think he wasn't in this movie that much for it being named after him.
Exactly, for being the entire movie being named after him, and he doesn't even appear until 25 minutes in.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what else would you call this movie, though? I was thinking about that. I'm like, Beetlejuice is what you go with.
I
kind of get it.
I got that, too. Don't you worry. That'll be coming up here in 1 second. Well, here. The studio originally wanted to call the film House Ghosts, and as a joke, Tim Burton suggested the name Scared Sheetless, like, bed sheets.
That's good.
Scared Sheetless.
Yeah.
And he was horrified when the studio actually considered using it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like executive.
Can you imagine just being like, let's call it Scared Sheetless, haha, like as a joke, and they're like, actually, no, I like that. Like, start writing it down.
Honestly, though, compared to House Ghost, way better than House Ghost.
Yeah, way better than House Ghost. So,
but Beetlejuice is just so much superior.
Yeah, and it just makes sense for the whole movie because that's like saying his name is what started the whole series of events. Besides dying, but
Like what would they call it? The death of Barbara and Adam? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you do.
Like new ghosts in the afterlife. I don't know. Just
car crashes gone wrong. Like, I don't,
ghosts that suck at ghosting.
Oh, that's good, dude. That could be a good one for nowadays. Like ghosting is like such a.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
like you could do something.
So,
ghosting at life.
A ghosted life.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay. So another fun fact, Michael Keaton came up with much of the character's look himself for Beetlejuice. Keaton told the makeup department he wanted mold on his face and his hair looking as if he stuck his finger in an electric socket. And he requested that the wardrobe department send him clothes from all different time periods. So that's why
I love how they let him like just go crazy, bro. You do what you want. Man.
Yeah, just like. Or like he just making these suggestions. They're like, yeah, we'll dig it, run it, let's go. And director Tim Burton feared that the Day-O sequence wouldn't go over well, since in his opinion it wasn't very funny. Burton turned out to be wrong. Audiences loved it. Think of it as one of the film's most iconic scenes, which for me is the only one I've even remembered over 25 years ago when I watched it. Probably even longer than that. Like, since I had seen it, and that's what stuck with me since.
It catches me so off guard the second time.
And it must have caught my little brain off, just like, what the fuck is happening? Because that's all I can ever remember from the movie, which is weird.
Yeah, dead wrong. That shit's awesome.
Another fun fact, the film was, Beetlejuice was the first DVD sent out by Netflix in 1998.
Wild.
I don't know, right? Remember, because Netflix, There wasn't streaming or anything like that. You had to just, like, request DVDs and shit, and they'd mail them out to you. I remember getting a couple out at the farm. Like,
that should have been, like, one of your, for you people who don't know, like, your old people.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, for all you youngins out there, back in the day before streaming, you used to have to, either go to a video store, which was awesome. Blockbuster was a shit. It's sad to see him go. But when the Netflix, in its infancy, you used to be able to rent games and movies through it, and you had to request it either online or through like a little brochure, like catalog thing, mail it in or like send the request in, and then you have to wait a week or two for you to get it, and then you have to mail it back within like a month, and it had to be like in the same condition and shit like that. Back in the day, just for all you youngins out there who have it good, who can just sit there and do a couple clicks or taps, and then you're watching some shit. Like,
fun fact, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix and turned them down.
Well, Blockbuster's stupid. They probably just want to take their last little bit of money and go.
Yeah, fucking idiots.
Fucking idiots. So, I got this from Wikipedia, which I thought was interesting. Janet Maslin of the New York Times gave the film a negative review. Wench.
Lame.
Yep. Writing that the film tries anything and everything for effect and only occasionally manages something marginally funny. Skank. And is about as funny as a shrunken head. Oh, that's...
Which is funny. I thought the shrunken head was funny.
The dude was adorable. Whatever. Like, I loved it. Roger Ebert, we all know his name, one of the biggest critics out there, Gave the film.
No, he said video games aren't art.
What?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck that guy too. Man, these guys suck.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, fuck you, Roger Ebert.
Gave him. He gave the film 2 out of 4 stars, which is like a weird rating number.
Yeah, like, hey, we like to do stuff out of 5 or 100.
You gotta have
all right?
something to overlap it, so you can't just like tie it up. Whatever. I don't know. 50.
Fucking dweeb.
weird.
Who's dead now, bitch? At least I'm still breathing, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Anyway, writing that. So yeah, Roger Ebert would have been more interested if the screenplay had preserved their Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis sweet romanticism and cut back on the slapstick. Like, the sweet romanticism was just like almost overplayed. Like, ew, gross. Like, calm down. It's like you're 2 high school lovebirds. And
He wanted The Matrix to be all sex scenes. That's what he wanted.
did he?
No, I'm just joking that
okay.
take on this movie. Like, he just wants it to be all lovey-dovey shit.
Yeah,
Like,
ew, gross. And like, we're talking about like dead people in the afterlife and stuff. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck.
it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Like, you want less comedy in it. Like, what the fuck? I feel like Barbara and Adam's relationship is, like, done perfect. I think it's the right level for where it's at now.
I mean, I just could have toned down the affection. Like, how long y'all been married? That should have been dead by now, dog. Like, calm down. Like, you just been like.
They gotta set it up. They only have so much time. It's a short movie.
Should have been like, honey, get me a beer, sort of shit. And
I
I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know.
You have to overdo their niceness and you have to overdo their love because you got like 15 minutes to set this up.
I guess.
That's that.
So, Ebert also called Keaton unrecognizable behind the pounds of makeup.
You mean being an actor and like getting lost in the role?
Yeah, like what did you
That's
want?
like the whole thing.
I thought it was great. I didn't think the makeup was like, shut the fuck up, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's exactly that's the whole point of acting, dude. Like, you're supposed to forget who it is. That's like that's the biggest compliment you can
Yeah,
give
right?
someone.
Like,
when I don't see Tom Hanks on screen, Tom Hanks is doing his job. When I forget, it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Same thing.
There you go. Perfect. So, yeah, Ebert can shut the fuck up. Anyway, and the last thing he said was his scenes don't seem to fit with the other action. What? He is the action.
No.
Are you like,
Yeah.
I don't. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. We're better reviewers than those 2 fucking
Well, you
derps.
just get off your presumptuous hill, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, just have
if
some
you
fun.
can't, like, enjoy some lowbrow comedy kind of stuff and like just a different appeal, then keep with your fucking fanciful films that are.
I think there is a little philosophy in here. Again, I think it's all about life is unfair.
I didn't even consider it from
things.
that like take, and this is why I always love doing these shows with you, because you have this like totally different perspective on it that's just like totally makes sense that I never even considered. So, yeah, that's all I got for fun facts, though. I'm glad we got.
No, those were great. Those were bangers, though. Those were really good.
I found a couple of those today, a couple from the other day, but yeah, I was like, oh, I found them quite interesting. So, our ratings time. What do you give it?
Yeah. I give it an 88.
You give it 88?
I had a great time. I had a really fun time. I loved it. I loved it from opening to end.
I gave it an 80. There were some logic errors, like, a lot of like not empty logic, but it was just like things weren't explained. But now that talking to you, I'm like, okay, well, maybe having not everything explained works.
Yeah.
And I kind of see it from your perspective now, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll cross that off the list. It's a little pervy for PG rating, but also this is an 80s movie, and we've been like softened up now, and like TV
and really dark too.
Like,
some very dark imagery, like when they're like pulling their faces and like having teeth, and all that stuff is super dark too. On top of the lovey-dovey stuff.
Yeah, it's true. And there was some corny acting by Baldwin, but overall it was great. Like, everything was all pretty great all around. So, and it wasn't supposed to be like going out to try to win every award or anything.
And it did win an Oscar,
a fun fucking movie.
It did win an Oscar, though.
And it did, yeah. I got it coming up here, like, after the IMDb rating is... It got 7.5 out of 10 for IMDb, which they're hard to please, and that's pretty decent.
That's pretty good for the... Yeah, no, I would have expected it not to be that high, because IMDb's brutal.
And Rotten Tomatoes, even harder to please, got 83 on the tomato meter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And 82 on the popcorn meter.
Yeah,
So
we're pretty in line if you average our scores.
Yeah.
We're a little higher, but I think we're always just.
And I did honestly. I did my rating before I checked the other
Yeah.
ones, and that's where I laid out too. So
I didn't do that for the movie next
And-
week. I totally looked
What?
them up. You know what I mean? The Star Trek one. What's?
okay, we'll get that.
I'm
in a
just
minute.
saying, though. I'm just saying.
So at the 61st Academy Awards, Beetlejuice won the Academy Award for Best Makeup. Oh, so they win Academy Award for makeup that was too thick, Mr. Ebert. Shut the fuck up. While the British Academy of Film and Television Arts
BAFTA.
nominated the film for Best Visual Effects and Makeup. Oh, damn. 2 establishments sit there and nominate it for makeup. Shut the fuck up, Ebert. And at the 42nd British Academy of Film Awards. So, yeah, like 3 different, what am I trying to say here?
Organizations will give out prestigious
Organizations, there we go, that like can rate films or whatever. 3 different ones say the makeup was pretty damn good. Shut up, Ebert. God damn. I don't know why that just makes me so salty. Beetlejuice won Best Horror Film and Best Makeup at the 1988 Saturn Awards. Huh, weird. Another award for makeup. Shut the fuck up, Ebert. Sydney also won the Saturn for Best Supporting Actress, and the film received 5 other nominations: Direction for Burton, Writing for McDowell and Scarron, Best Supporting Actor for Keaton, Music, Elfman, and Special Effects.
For that 2 out of 4 movie.
Yeah. Fucking suck it, Ebert. Beetlejuice was nominated for the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, and Beetlejuice was 88th in the American Film Institute's list for Best Comedies. Like, nice. I wonder what number 1 is. I'm kind of curious now. So anyway, all said and all, good movie, good film, good time. I had a good time watching it, doing the notes on it, having a discussion with you. Good movie. It feels good to get back in the fucking game here and do our show. So, high five through the camera.
Yeah.
Bam. So, next week, we're doing Section 31.
Yeah, my first experience with Star Trek. Really excited,
Yeah, and for me as a Star Trek fanboy and knowing a little bit about it, like it's supposed to be a show that got turned into a movie because of some stuff I'm going to learn about this week. I remember seeing something on it, I forgot the exact reason, but we're going to cover that next week in the show. So, hell yeah. I don't know. I'm ready for next week. We're going to stay on the ball.
Will Super 8 be beaten for our worst, lowest rated film? Find out next week.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some things to say because Star Trek's my baby. I already didn't want this, and what's her name? Michelle Wu? I think. I can't stand her in anything she's in, so this is going to be pretty treacherous for me. I don't know.
I can't wait.
But,
I can't wait to watch Rome burn. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I can't wait to toss in a torch to help it fucking burn down. This
will be the 4th Star Trek movie I've ever seen. Because I've seen the J.J. Abrams trilogy.
All but one of the originals. Maybe 2 of the original series movies. But I've seen all the rest of them, and a few of them recently. So
I'm trying to make a joke how out of the 4 things I've seen of Star Trek, one of them is abysmal in the future, which is really funny to me. Because I know TNG is supposed to be one of the best shows of all time.
TNG is one of the best shows of all time. I watch it at least once a month, maybe twice a month. I'm obsessed. You can't help it. The Rick Burnham era, just sheer glory.
Again, someday in the far, far future, and we have a Patreon, and 2 Bros, 1 Show is the thing, and you have to...
Dude, that'd be so much fun.
You'll force me at gunpoint to watch TNG. It'll be a good time.
I mean, that's just a lot. That's 7 seasons, so we might have to figure out how to do that.
Hey, we got a lot of career, man. We got a lot of time to burn,
We do. We're going to try to stay on it weekly, and then, we get some Patreons over here. We can do 2 or 3 movies a week or something like that. 2 movies
3 hours of a TV show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do a few episodes of a TV show every week. That'd be fucking great. I would love it.
Pitch. Yeah, I mean,
so help support the show when we get there. We're gonna get back on track and pump content out to you guys. So stick around and stay tuned for next week's Section 31.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of 2 Bros, 1 Film with your hosts, William and Xander.
Yeah.
Please check out our social media for updates and any info about our show. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps the show grow and expand and reach as many people as we can. Also, word of mouth is the best way to spread the show, so if you had fun, tell a friend about us. We'd definitely appreciate it. Thank you and take care.
See you on the flip side.
Fucking suck it, Ebert. Anyway,
Yeah, fuck you, Roger Ebert. Fucking idiots.
Fucking idiots.